Okay, so we are live and okay, so I'm going to be opening the chat, and if somebody is online, you jump in and tell me if I'm audible, visible. I think the chat is also open, live chat or visible. Okay, super. Give me a hi. Let me know. Am I audible, visible? General check. Okay, super. Welcome to day five, technically. And we are unlocking EQ brain skills for 100 continuous days, which means 100 topics, 30 to 40 skills of emotional intelligence. You don't get this anywhere, right? You don't get this 30 to 40 minutes concise, concrete, and focused learning anywhere. So make use of this opportunity. It is going to be available as a video format, audio, and an article format. Stay tuned and subscribe to all my YouTube live channel. Registration link is given below in case you are an email person and you like to get reminded and notified whenever I'm coming online. You can register here. And when you register in the community access, you're going to get not just a reminder, you also get a mobile access and fun quizzes. It will come as a complimentary for you. Whatever quiz we are, demonstrating in, or whatever quiz we are attaching in terms of your awareness level, I then and there I give some quiz format, right? So one we have done for resilience, and for tomorrow we are coming up with another topic. So all these topics, like 30 to 40 quizzes, will be available in that particular bundle, which comes to you complimentary if only you register for that Zoom live link. And of course, we are going through 21 days challenge resilience building for moms, for busy moms. So there's a link given below. You can also see what are the other moms who have done this program. How are they feeling before, during, and after? Okay, after they've gone through that 21 days, what changes have they come across? And how much they are able to put all this into their daily lives. And today, without any much delay, today's topic is to the importance of being a resilient parent. Uh, when you say parenting, parenting itself is, I would say, it's a daily, I'll not say it's a struggle, but it's a daily challenge for us, right? Whether the child is in a toddler stage uh, or in an elementary school or a mid school or a high school, every stage of life is a transition. By the time you feel like, okay, you're settled, the other stage is already kicked in. So it is a constant. I think it's a classic example when we say, how do we practice resilience? Are we really resilient? Is something that you can always check on yourself, because life is anyway throwing us that opportunity to become resilient. It is just that how much awareness you have, that you can call yourself that you do have this skill in you, you do have this wisdom in you, that you can use that when it is required. That awareness alone is something, if you are able to cultivate in you and it comes to you when the moment is needed, that is where, that only means that you're applying that. Having that awareness is not just going to help you. You need to apply that awareness also. Only then you can see the result. So take these sessions 30, 40 minutes. Sometimes it is going beyond 40 minutes. It is only because we have to drill down the principle and concepts very clearly. In the initial first few episodes alone, we might have to dwell on more in terms of bringing that understanding. Once we are aligned, after that, it is only the topic and necessary strategies and skills that we can straight away talk. Okay. Now you see, this is a mini guide for busy moms. And my examples or the skills that I have taken a note of it, or my research is only going to be focused for my audience who are essentially women and a mother or a businessman or businesswoman who's juggling with multiple roles. Okay. Because whatever I've gone through, only that I can speak of. And that is in my experience, and anybody's experience is not false. So when I say something from my experience, I've been through that path and I don't want you to do those mistakes. Of course, all of us have this necessary wisdom. We have our own journey, which is teaching us a lot of things. So if you have some good insights, if you think that you can really connect to what has been told here, or if you have something really working in your life when it comes to a particular topic that we are discussing, please feel free to put that as a comment. I may be running the show, I may be busy, giving you this presentation. I may not be able to stop by to ask you, but I will make sure that I'll ask you then and there to ensure your understanding is there. But then I can only show you the water. The rest of the things is something that you got to take a step. And when you type in your insights, right, it is not only you're inspiring me, it is also you are paying the wave for other people when these are all digital assets, right? It's going to be there forever. And whoever sees this, it could be a teenager now, it could be a young mother now. By the time she crosses that stage, when she looks at this, video, and when she or somebody who sees this comment, they will definitely get inspired. So give that inspiration, possibly at the comfort of your home that you're watching. Just don't be an observant. Don't just be a consumer. Also contribute. All right. So today's topic is from chaos to calm. How can you master resilient parenting? And how do you stay stronger under pressure? So what we're going to do, what we're going to learn essentially is to learn some cool strategies during stressful moments. How can you build stronger and deeper connection with kids? And how can you master being emotionally balanced and bring some peace at home and within yourself? I must tell you, in the 30-40 minutes that we're going to be discussing, it may not be necessarily that it is possible to pour in all the insights that I have for this particular topic. It is something that I have handpicked, but it is more to do with application in life. So whatever actionable strategies has been given, I want you to apply that next 24 hours to see whether it's working for you or not. If you resonate with this and if it is really working for you, I would want you to just come out and give me that one liner. What worked for you? Okay, that will definitely help me move forward. All right. Now, you know the principles of why we are doing this 100 days of unlocking EQ brain skills in terms of how are we going to impart that brain skills to you is we're going to take a particular topic in emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence is a branch of psychology. That psychology is the mother of, I would say, it's the mother of personal development, right? And it's an ocean by itself. And even emotional intelligence, even though it's a branch of psychology, you've got so many talents, so many competencies to linger on, and then you can adapt so many things in your life. In fact, these are not something which is something coming, falling from the sky all of a sudden. Everything is there within us. I'll tell you why. Because essentially what we are dealing is with your brain. Okay. We say it is heart and gut now. We are talking about emotional intelligence, which is developing from heart. And then, people right now say even the gut has a brain and all that. Okay. I'll tell you, everything is generated with there is always a controversy whether the feeling kicks in first, or the thought. I would rather say emotions is the first thing which kicks in, or it could be sometimes the thought which kicks in the emotion. Okay. Emotions is something biological which creates the feeling. And then thereby the action comes across behavior or personality trait. Okay. If you go deeper spiritually, if I have to put across, because we're going to also see the brain aspect, of course, left and right brain aspect is something that we will see. And we will also see the 5 dimensions of life. If anybody is aware of 5 dimension, if you've been watching this video for the last 4 days, and if you by now know what is the crux of or what is the concept principle behind this entire learning session is those 5 dimensions of life. Anybody is aware of it? Somebody is watching online, maybe you can give me a comment. Would you know what is the 5 dimensions I'm always referring to? What are the names of it? I'm typing here, what are the 5 dimensions that I mentioned? Five dimensions of life. Okay. If anybody can answer that, I'm going to give you a shout out. All right. So the 5 dimensions of life is typically physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial. So it is important that we work on all these pillars every day in and day out. It is not something that you don't take care of your health. You take it for granted, and you're too busy with your financial dimension, or maybe you're a very good person who takes care of your meditation spiritually. You're very calm and composed and all that. But if you don't take care of your physicality, right? You're not into any exercises. You have a sedentary life. It it's definitely going to show up. Okay. By the time you are peak at your business, maybe you're demanded more there. Your time and energy is demanded. But if you're not taking care of your physical dimension, it is definitely going to pull you down. It's the same way with let's say emotional well-being. You may be a king or queen at your office or at your industry. You may be really leading and successful. You may have huge money, but you may not have peace with your relationship. You have every time you have turmoil within yourself and outside yourself. Now, how does it sound? It doesn't seem to be balanced, right? It's like five-legged chair. You just knock off one chair, one leg, it's going to fall down. Similarly, I'm going to admit somebody who's coming in. Let me welcome Rachita Sachdev. I'm going to ask her to unmute. Hi, Rachita, can you speak now?
Hi,
Hello, welcome.
thank you.
You want to switch on your video?
Sorry, I can't do that right now.
No problem. So we just started off with the introduction. If you have watched the previous episodes, you will understand what is the principle behind this lessons, these learning sessions. If you have any doubt, you just stop by.
No, this is the first time I'm just exploring what it is about. I haven't done anything prior to this.
Okay. So we are talking about emotional intelligence skills and why is it needed and how is it essential for parents like us, moms who are juggling with multiple roles. And if it's your first time, I congratulate you, and I I would like to um, give you a shout out that you are here on the live call. It really means something, and it really means something for me also. So stay on and participate if you're there on YouTube. Maybe you can chat. Otherwise, also you can chat here. I'll go ahead with what I was talking in terms of understanding parenting resilience. Any topic that we will take about emotional intelligence, we necessarily address two sides of brain. One is left side and right side. And essentially what we are talking is about logical brain and emotional brain. Tell me one thing. In your life, have you ever felt in your winning experiences, okay, where you had mastery experiences, like you won over something? It could be over situations or people or conversations, some winning moments. Can you tell me, just think through and tell me, was it your left brain or right brain working for you? It's not necessary that um, you don't, maybe you don't have awareness right now, but there could be many moments like that. I just want you to pick up one thing. If you ask me, one really victorious moment for me was my delivery, right? I'm sure it is for all moms. So was I using my left brain or right brain more? Or it need not be that intense moments. It could be simple conversation or simple, um, winning moments, like maybe through through my daughter, I could have achieved something, or during a conversation in the family that my negotiation skills were very good, and then we kind of went through with my decision, my choice. Or it could be with my business clients. I was able to complete a particular assignment within the deadline, and I could achieve. In those moments, if I have to put myself to see whether was it more of a left brain or right brain, I'll tell you, if you have that kind of awareness to see, you may be running in the heat of the moment, it is not possible. But then, if you have this awareness daily, if you build this on a daily basis, moment to moment, you may be able to um, look at this in your life. Now, what's happening here is both the brains, even though it is an intense moment, both the brains actively work, because we come and when we are born itself, our brain gets activated. And when it is sometime that you may not be able to see whether that skill is coming from your left side or it is happening from your right side, which is totally fine. But by the time we are born and the brain is activated, both these sides are actively working. It is up to us as to which side of the brain that we are exercising it daily. Most of the times, the culprit is our school. The education industry is that way, that we are tuned to only exercise the logical brain more, right? Suppose you're being given, let's say, creativity work like arts, or more into music, more into adventure works, crafts, therapy works. Suppose you were exposed to all that, and then parallelly you're also doing your math and calculation and all that. You would have come out of the school differently. All those pressure and cribbing, regrets, and every day in and day out, at least during our times, it was not like that. But now every day is, it's becoming very competitive outside, and every day is becoming turmoil for not just the child, it is also for the parent. So that is why parenting needs that resilience, both logical and emotional resilience. And when it comes to resilience as such, you will see from the day one, day two, day three, we've been talking so many strategies in terms of developing your resilience. Yesterday, we typically saw how can you address the emotional resilience directly. And today, what we are seeing is, as a parent, how can you address resilience? So right now, the definition of resilience, by now you know very clearly what is resilience means. That is the ability to stay calm and composed, right? And as I said, there are two components, that is your left brain logic for problem solving, and right brain emotional regulation is happening. There's a key message that we want to give is resilience helps navigate parenting storms calmly and effectively. Until yesterday, we saw overall it does help, maintaining that composure within you, even though when the external situation is very chaotic. But now we are going to focus on what's happening during our parenting. Let's see what happens if you don't have this parenting resilience. Without it, what's happening is you exhaust yourself. You are not able to conserve your energy, in which case it is going to be a strained relationship. And with resilience, what you can do is you can manage your emotions and respond thoughtfully, maintaining strong bonds with children. So think of a situation where you wouldn't have a skill or a support. You really felt left out or helpless. How are you bouncing back? How much time did you take to overcome that? Where you just got sucked up, or you just got succumbed to that situation, you took a lot of time, or you panicked, or you struggled to come out of it, or you just didn't know and you just stayed for the storm to just pass out. What were the traits that you had demonstrated? That is where your awareness is going to kick in. Because as and when we are going to discuss those strategies, you can put yourself there to see what is your current status. And trust me, as a parent, if not a young mother or a young before becoming a parent, I truly understand these skills may not really, um, it doesn't occur to us as very important. But the moment you become a parent, I am sure it is expected that it is expected for us to, do the job, know the way to, get out of it, right? Because you have a baby on your hand. You have a toddler running around you. You'll have to manage it. If not today, tomorrow you'll have to manage it. So it is by nature we are becoming resilient. But are we doing it by force or are we doing it by power? That is the whole difference. Statistics, what does it say? There are overwhelming demands for parents. There are about 67% of parents led overwhelmed by emotional demands of parenting. What is the source? Like American Psychology Association does that study, and it says lack of time. 50% of parents struggle to find time for themselves and their partner. It is so very true, right? By the time the child comes in your life, your spouse relationship, couple relationship goes one step behind. The self-care goes last, couple of steps behind. Our priority for ourselves, our time, is not counted at all. We go at the last of the list. It takes years for us to come to the front, not even to the first lot, but at least to the front. So that is the time where it gets overloaded, burnout happens, and then it leads to depression. Trust me, it is not at all fun. Not even touching that burnout is fun. I've been there twice, not really, because you will not know that it is only parenting troubles. It could be many things which can be troubling you if you don't pay attention and awareness to it. It is all going to come up and pile up at one time. And by the time you have to handle so many things, if you don't have that right kind of energy and emotion, it'll drain you off. Okay. And then financial strain. 45% of parents worry about covering essential expenses. I have heard this, parable that out of all that stress, being financially stressed is the most stressful one because it's going to eat up all the other stress. If there is a financial crunch at home, everything is going to be put behind that. Whether it is ambitions or the business is not working or the kitchen is not functioning well or the demands of the child is not taken care, everything is put back and everything will come in front when it is that time. Because financial stress it's like a fabric which connects everything. Sleep deprivation is a natural consequence. 80% of parents report sleep problems due to their children. There were times that we used to beg our daughter to sleep. Sometimes we even cry, why don't you just sleep? Typical girls, and they want to just go full on for the entire night. But it is so with, kids with any gender, right? Until they get into the school routine, it is that way. And then even after school routine is there, the problem or the routine for mom remains the same. So imagine people with moms with 3, 4 children. How did they even manage during our days, right? We are we are 3 children at our place, and we lived as almost like a joint family until few years back with my grandparents and everybody at one place. And I've heard stories about people living in joint families back home in India. So how did they even sail through? There are a lot of advantages and disadvantages when it comes as a joint family. And there are equally advantages and disadvantages, huge disadvantages when it is a nuclear family. As the day goes by, as this life stages grows, especially being in a different country, we started feeling the dearth of uh, presence of elders at home, presence of different perspectives at home. Okay. I'm sure it is there for health wise, sleep wise also. So it is important, especially for nuclear family. The parents are the victims on that. So it is all the more important that they need this resilience skills. It Who needs this? All parents, with no gender parity in that. The juggling emotional ups and downs for raising children, definitely. Whoever is taking care of it, even caregivers and new parents, especially. So, applying resilience in family life. Whenever there is a tantrum, handling outbursts with calmness and empathy will help you reduce your emotional overload. Okay. The child will be the same, or maybe they will change based on their life stages. Once they go to school, once they get new friends, maybe their environment changes and they also change. But the emotional overload that comes across every time they throw tantrum is affecting the parent a lot, especially the moms. And then sibling conflicts. Mediate disputes while maintaining emotional balance is another area of it's a constant step, right? You just cannot get away with it. Neither can you just be an observant on it, right? As a parent, it is important that we pay attention or fix it. Fixing everything or bearing everything is totally a fatigue job. It eventually leads us to fatigue, right? Even if you are going to fix it, it'll only make you tired and tired and tired. I'm always, it's not that I'm always saying the flip side of it. The reason why I'm saying is, what is the other side to it? That is exactly what we have to see today. And then public meltdowns. I mean, it's a common scene, right? The children are throwing tantrums right there in the public. So staying patient when your child is upset in public, it's a skill by itself. How are we going to do that without having the residue in us? It is not that you fake it over there and then you take it on when you come back home. That's not the way. That's not going to be effective for you. It is that will have its own manifestation. And then the bedtime struggles, creating a consistent bedtime routine to foster security and sense of calm. That is another skill by itself, right? Because sleep deprivation has been the most common cause for stress and mental health problem. Even physical health deterioration happens because there is no proper sleep. And then the social media era. So social media has become mobile has become another arm, right? Even for moms. So we think that we spend we want to relax watching something, and but then we are not we know sometimes we are not very sure that where is this FOMO happening all of a sudden. We constantly have this fear of missing something because somebody else is doing something on the social media. So immediately you want to do something. And you start feeling that people around you are not cooperating for the way that you want to display, right? You want everything the way that is required for social media. So it's a pressure by itself built in very gradually without our knowledge because every day we are spending on it. Remember, wherever you pay attention, that's where the energy flows in. And it's the same way. If it is going extreme, always remember the left brain or right brain. When the bubble is here and the bubble is here, it is easy to come to a balance in the midbrain. But if it's gone extreme to the right side or extreme to the left side, either you're too creative about it or too logical about it, it's very difficult for you to come to the mid zone. And mid zone is what is emotional intelligence brain. That is where the prefrontal frontal cortex is functioning optimally. So that is the aim of learning to be emotionally intelligent. So anything extreme is going to be bad. But how are you going to um, alarm yourself? How do you know that you've gone to that extreme? That is where the awareness lies in. And then the mealtime challenges. So that is another thing, right? You cook something, and most of moms go for decision fatigue, like day in and day out, all 3 meals, decision for making creative meals, innovative recipes, and variety every other day for continuously for all 3 meals. It's a task by itself. I'll tell you, all the more we are not even being paid for it. That is another thing. So if you have a routine in your life, and if you have your people accustomed to that routine, hats off to you. Model healthy eating habits and cultivate a positive, dining atmosphere during your dining time. At least that is the time that, generally we all can meet. Make sure that the mobile is not there. That culture is not, we have not been brought up with that. It's something that got induced in the last 4 5 years. So it is important that you, weed the bud off from the beginning. I know it's a difficult task. Trust me, I've also been trying and trying and trying, but it is the resilience that is helping me try. I always bounce back. I also get hit. I also get hurt. In fact, I also sometimes, tend to pick up, but I make sure I'm aware of, especially during the dining tables, conversations or lunch times. I have other rituals which will keep me away from my other distractions, even negative conversations, anything which is, triggering, or anything which is criticizing, complaining. We don't talk that, because it is important that food that we need, that's a whole different thing that we can discuss on a different day. But all these things have to come into your awareness first, and then you start applying it. That's a second step. Only then you can actually start becoming resilient. Just by talking, just by remembering, whatever has been discussed here, nobody can become resilient overnight. It has to come by practice. Resilience for personal well-being is also important. Moms have to have this. When you need emotional balance, it is important to maintain that. If you think that it is important to maintain composure while addressing your children's needs, a resilient parent has to stay calm and focused even when dealing with challenging behaviors, tantrums, stressful situations, because this is what is going to allow you to have a better communication and problem solving. This is why resilience is needed. And self care, prioritizing your mental health alongside with all your other responsibilities, investing in your own well being is essential for effective, resilient parenting. So this is going to include things like getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, exercising regularly, finding new hobbies and relaxation activities. Now, how am I going to do all that? You need to activate your right brain to understand the needs of yourself and others, and also logically, critically think through, can you afford, some creative solutions like having a nanny or a support, at least for your kitchen. That time maybe you can, you can do the, instead of doing the, what you call batch meals, you might want to complete everything in the morning and then put it in the fridge. You will have to be creatively thinking, and of course a lot of moms are doing it. But are you doing the self care also? You are able to do it, but then what are you spending that extra time with? How are you spending that time? That is essentially what we need to take care of it. Then stress management. So developing techniques to cope with that parenting pressures. There are numerous stress management strategies. It is out there in social media right now, right? So this is going to include mindfulness, deep breathing exercises. There is a reel that I have done on box breathing and 5 expert stress management techniques for moms specifically. So you might want to watch that. I'll share the link here. Spending the right time in nature, connecting with support system. These are very few strategies that we can pick up, but there are list of things that we can always do. Mindfulness, bringing some mindfulness in stressful moments. Taking a pause is a skill by itself. Stay, stop and take a deep breath before reacting. And observe, notice emotions and your child's feeling. Respond, maybe choose a calm, um, place. Think about it, reflect, thoughtful responses instead of reacting, instead of lashing. Just think, yesterday and day before yesterday, we spoke a lot of strategies, a lot of subset towards emotional resilience. Bring all those into practice for you to become a resilient parent. So you can also include those things that we discussed yesterday. We also spoke about, how without reactions, how can you not go to autopilot, instead auto respond? Those things will definitely help you. And creating consistent routines. Okay, morning and, your after school is the time where that's another peak of chaos, right? Especially if you have two, three children, it's going to be so many different dynamics is going to happen at one point of time, right? Because that is the time that they want to just let out and maybe share stories and or some critical information that you want to ask them, and they may not in a mood, you need to persuade, a lot of things happen, and then you have to put them back to make sure that the assignments and homeworks are finished. Maybe there are classes, so many things happens at that point of time, and especially the morning times or the peak. I would rather say that is the reason for people getting into stress, especially moms, because that is the time that everything has to happen: breakfast, lunch boxes. Indian moms, Indian homes, this is a typical scene. If there are people, especially here, when the lunch is outsourced, then that gives you some peace. But again, that needs to match with your value system at life, at your place. Because if you're not a meat eater, or if you don't go with that kind of a food, you definitely have to take care of the health of the child. Because the more energetic the child is, the more they can focus and concentrate. Otherwise, the same tantrum, already there are tantrums happening within themselves because their own hormones are kicking in. Their understanding of the world is going to be very new. They're also trying to be resilient. They're also adjusting. And at the same time, we also have to adjust. So it is tough. So morning, establish a structured wake up and breakfast routine. Have the breakfast, because if you skip the breakfast, there's no energy in you. When you don't have the energy, there are no positive emotion happening at all. When you don't have positive emotion, naturally your reactions, it's not going to be appropriate. Same with after school. Create a consistent homework or playtime schedule, and also that meal. When they want to come back, maybe some snacks. Um, I mean, all the moms are very clear about it. But are we doing this as a structured thing? And also, do you also understand why would you need to do this? Essentially, we are not talking about the what of it, but why and how of it. Because what of it is something which is available, plenty, plethora in social media, and even by your own experience, you know what to do. But then why are you doing it and how are you doing it so that it doesn't leave the residue in you? That is what is important. Bedtime, implementing a calming wind down routine for better sleep is important, not just for them, it is also for you. If we are going to have the mobile on hand and asking them to sleep, it is only going to have an opposite effect, because they are mirror of parents. Bottom line is that children only mirror us, they observe us. They don't have the natural um, evoking behaviors at all. They only ape. After certain time, like 7, 8 years, is when they get their personality kicking in. That is when they get to choose. But until such time, even I would say, even until a teenager, until 18, 21 years, everything they see and they model, right? It takes time, but maybe now it is everything is advanced that kids are becoming uh, technology driven, and they're exposed to many things now. But essentially, what we need is consistent routines. Focus on long term goals. Current challenges, break that down. And when you break it down, always remember why you're doing what you're doing now. So, what is your long term so that you can concentrate on the short term now? So, your long term and short term has to be connected so that you don't do anything which is not going to give you that kind of I'm not saying expect the outcome all the time. What I'm saying is be aligned. It is important to be aligned with what your needs and wants and with that of your family, so that you don't do anything that is not needed for yourself and for people around you. It's best that you derive or set goals based on the value system that you are. Every person has a core values, and that value has to align with goals. And of course, the goals have a range: short term, mid term, and long term. And how you work backwards from long term. That is when you can really see the vision of it. And then whenever there is Short term meaning right now, whenever you plan something, not every day is going to be as per your plan. Sometimes it may be an adversity. Sometimes it could be a small little changes, maybe on the health. If the child is sick or you are sick, it's going to disrupt your day. So you'll have to cave in, you'll have to give that 30% to life to happen. And that 70% has to be a fixed and consistent routine. So identify the current challenge, immediate parenting issue that you're going through. Identify the broader perspective of it. Consider the long-term lesson that has been, taught. If necessary, have an open discussion. That is when you can take the multiple perspectives. I can't insist enough in terms of multiple uh, perspective taking or shifting. So we have discussed this in the previous episodes. So having a discipline, remembering the goal is teaching responsibility and not winning arguments. Whenever you want to discipline your child, it is always to bring a consistency, to bring the routine, to make sure that everyone's energy is conserved and everyone is feeling peaceful about it. This is the intention behind it. It is not to win over every conversation, every argument, every other decisions. So one of the key strategies for your left brain to activate during your resilience skill building is to arrive at a solutions which is a win-win. The first 2 days we saw good amount of insight on it. Go back and watch that. So if you have the capacity to work on, in fact, it is both a combination of right brain and left brain, because left brain will help you logically derive, look at facts to derive the solutions, but it is more of problem oriented. So your right brain is going to take a help of that left brain, giving you the logic and facts. However, it is going to instruct the logic brain to stay calm so that the right brain will take over to find perspectives of others. They'll start actively listening, having the insights of the facts or do's and don'ts at the back of the mind. However, it'll stay calm to listen to other people's needs, decide the way, weigh the pros and cons, and then put it across, finding a win-win solution for all the parties involved. You see how the blend is happening beautifully between the right brain and left brain, right? That is when you can really bring the discipline. It is not just about being, aggressive about discipline. Instead of making it as a force, if you can make it as a powerful technique, powerful activity, power comes with the right kind of intentions. If you can open up and be vulnerable or express your intention as to why would you need that kind of a routine in your family, maybe the child will agree to it. Maybe the child will start looking at this. Maybe your spouse will understand better. So it is important to communicate, express. That's where your right brain also activates. Life skills. It is a life skill because it's going to develop independence and problem solving skills. And patient approach. Address the situation with a bigger picture in your mind. I told you, right? Work backwards, which means having that bigger picture. If you can devise the midterm, short term, even daily goals and routines, then it is aligned. Everybody can see the effect of it. It is not coming from ego. Instead, it is coming from intention driven or value driven, what is needed for the family as a whole. Empathizing with your child. Without empathy skills, emotional resilience or logical resilience or any key emotional intelligence skills cannot be imparted at all. It is that important that you need to have this empathy skill in you naturally, especially when how do you demonstrate this? By perspective taking. We have seen that perspective taken in the first 2 days. Emotional validation is something that is also important when you take empathy, because I told you emotional intelligence itself is two component, self and others. Similarly, empathy also. It is for yourself and for others. It is not all the time stepping into others' shoes at all. It's not always all the time. It is also stepping. Do you even like to stand in your own shoes or not? Suppose it is thinking and you don't want to stand, right? You're not going to be able to stand in other shoes. You're not just borrowing their shoes for a day, right? It is important to take that validation, both the sides. Acknowledge your child's feeling, even if you disagree. Okay. And also see to yourself, why would you disagree? How is it hurting you? And how is it hurting the child's perspective? If you can swap the role, I've told you in the first few days that swapping role and swapping the dialogues is an easiest hack that you can develop empathy. Open communication, encourage your child to express their emotions freely without any judgments and without any advice. You are just listening to them. And of course, you can share your intentions. But the first thing that you're doing is actively listening without judgments. Celebrating small wins. Yes, daily victories, acknowledging moments of calm and patience in your parenting. This is more to do with self, right? Because moms are I would rather say, the least person given credit or appreciated. We all feel that, right? If you're a mom, touch your heart and say, have you ever felt you've been appreciated enough? Well, if it is so, wonderful. I mean, you must be grateful about people around you. But a lot of moms have a dearth of it. So the reason why they take different steps, they think their appreciations, they are being valued in a different place, and they, you know, pay attention to different things is because of this. If the family is not nurtured, if the man is not taught to appreciate the women, if the woman is not taught to appreciate the man, if the parents are not taught to appreciate the children also will not be taught, will not know how to appreciate it back. You see, even the child has to appreciate the parent. I ask my daughter openly, right? It is not to create any ego or any. This is more healthy and friendlier. In fact, I would remind her it is not all the time that she requires my appreciation. She, of course, they want that assurance from us. It's very true. It is so the case with us also, right? And who are we going to ask the credit to? Or who are we going to rely on? We also need that encouragement. We also need that positivity. And the best thing that you can do, if you have the capacity and patience, if you think it is possible coming from your own family members, do that. Or you may want to talk to your friends, close associates, or like-minded parents. That's the best thing that you can do. And that is why the communities like this will help you. The moms community that we have, pick up somebody, just catch up with them and talk with them, vent it out. And every month we have a common topic that we can pick up and discuss. So, this we have been doing for 2, 3 years now. So we pick up common, it can go from recipes, shopping, school security, mom's challenge. Sometimes even we spoke about learnings for moms. This is a classic example that we are doing a skill booster for moms. But we have done enough talking, enough research, and we have brainstormed a lot of things where common problems are always common. That is the only thing that we noticed, that all of us have the same common problems. It is just that maybe the intensity is different from different people, different families, and the solution is also going to be the same. So essentially, when you talk to a parent mom near you with the same age of children, you need to find that relativity, and then maybe even an experienced mom can give you a better support and network. Right? Sometimes it is needed, right? You need a pat, and many times it is not found from outside. So self-love is the easiest and effective weapon for this. So you need to develop the self-love every day. And after some time, when you start, practicing the self-love, you wouldn't need a validation from outside at all. But it is a common thing that everyone needs an encouragement. Everyone needs a motivation. Everyone needs to be complimented. Everyone needs to be appreciated. They have to be seen and heard. It's a common human, expectation. But you cannot depend on others. You might want to create it everything for yourself. That is where you're going to be resilient. Because if it is not found outside, you will know how to create it intrinsically. Okay? Gratitude. Expressing gratitude for daily parenting successes. These are untold weapons towards self-love. These are untold weapons towards resilience. Everything is a subset, actually. So especially for becoming resilient, the two important weapon that you can always practice. I've been practicing this for continuously. This is about week 38 for me. I've been practicing and establishing my daily updates, daily rituals, where in emotional well-being, I do something called gratitude journaling and as well as forgiveness journaling. When you start forgiving yourself, you will naturally be grateful. If you start forgiving others, you will naturally be self-loved. Okay, try this out. Only when you apply, you can really feel the truth of it. Breaking down parenting problems, it's the same way. Identifying a major issue, recognizing that it is a parenting challenge, list down the steps and take action. This is more towards left brain. Giving yourself grace, self compassion, self love, treating yourself the same way, the same kindness, how you want to treat your children. Forgiveness, as I rightly said, accept the mistakes happen and use them as learning opportunity. Do not beat yourself up. Do not sabotage any other person also. Maybe their life journey is different. I'm not here talking like a saint. Practically speaking, it is only going to give you the peace and have the ability to move on. You see, ability to stay calm within yourself and helping you move forward is resilience. Whatever it helps you that way, then that is the subset of resilience skills. If forgiveness is helping you to stay calm and move forward, then that is a subset of resilience. You're already there. If self compassion is going to help you to stay calm and move forward, then that is the skill for you to go ahead. Okay. Building a supportive network, parenting groups, join local or online communities. There are huge, opportunities opened up after pandemic. Classic example is USA Supermom groups that we have. Family and friends, of course, have a trusted loved ones for emotional support and practical help that you can always lean on. Okay, the first thing is you need to have that close circle. It need not be 5, 6, 10 people. 1 or 2 people. In fact, if you have one person in the world whom you can lean on, done. You're taking care. If you can have one person who can listen to you, that itself is a great success. At this point of time, that's how the world is moving. We are so totally disconnected, yet we are connected in social media. There is a disparity. So, in such a way that the best thing is to build your own family as your supportive network, because that's where you're spending your life, energy, time, everything in them, the intentions and everything, day in and day out. If you don't feel that happening yet, maybe you pick up somebody whom you know very well. Have a mentor instead of searching everywhere. Just have a mentor. This is the world of, this is the time of coaching and mentoring. So there are a lot of mentors available. You just have to pick up your challenge area and research for it. Best thing is to have a coach or a mentor in your life, because of course you pay for them because they have to be valued. There has to be a money exchange, value exchange. Otherwise, you're not going to take them seriously, and neither are they going to take you seriously. So in order to avoid the friction, it is important to have the money exchange or any value exchange. But if you have that kind of a mentor, don't lose it. Okay? Professional help. That is exactly what I said. A case study on this, instead of spanning out to a lot of other examples, because we're going to talk 100 topics, so we will need a lot of personalities, but I'm continuing with Michelle Obama from yesterday's case study. It's a classic example for her, picking her case study because she's a parent. At the same time, she was seen very resilient because her husband is serving the country for 2 terms. It's not that easy. So how did she cope up, juggle with being a first lady and her parenting struggles? So she always feels, in her book called The Becoming, she had given some insights, and I've picked up the key insights, what is relevant for the topic. So she says families first. Michelle Obama prioritized family well-being, emphasizing consistent routines, the family dinner, breakfast, even with demanding schedules. So this commitment demonstrates the prioritizing with family demands can be achieved even in challenging environments. Advocate for children, her passion for education and children rights extend beyond her role as a mother. So let's move is the movement that she committed and it is for bright future for children, showcasing her focus for long-term goals and teaching life skills rather than just winning arguments. How nice it is, right? Role model for mothers. Michelle Obama advocates working mothers, emphasizing the need for balance, support systems, and self-care. This fosters resilience and grace in managing work, family life. Her emphasis on empathy and open communication creates a safe place for children and express themselves, fostering strong family bonds. So I feel this is so relevant and apt for this topic. The key learnings in her parenting resilience is balancing public life and family. She exemplifies parenting resilience by prioritizing family well being. Okay, that's the key word here. And then championing family value system. So, for a healthy and strong family, using her platform to promote education and empowering young people. That is her mission. So, that is her value system that gets exactly demonstrated inside the family also. It's like long-term mission and vision. It's like working, backward. Of course, the short term is the immediate attention is family, but then the larger mission and vision is for educating and empowering children outside or the working mothers. So that is what is driving her to be an example, right? Leading by example again. So she demonstrates the importance of open communication and creating supportive environment for children, prioritizing self-care. So she also emphasizes the need for balance and support systems, advocating working mothers to prioritize their well-being. I'm sure there are a lot of examples like her around us, our own people, our own elders in the family, or a classic example. I've been telling this from the beginning, and I will be choosing Indian personalities. It's just that they're not pretty famous, not yet there on the social media, but there are a lot of people coming up. So you would be able to relate it. So I will be picking up Indian personalities as well. But I love these personalities because of their, you know, um, key skills, the values that they bring in on table. All right. So inspirational quotes to leave you with. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Am I right? So life is the same for everyone. In fact, climate is the same, seasons are the same, planetary systems is the same, sun rotation, moon rotation, everything on a very, very large universal perspective is all the same for everybody. 24 hours is the same for everyone. How we are capitalizing that, it's going to determine our life journey. In that, that's not going to give us any easier path. We have to make ourselves stronger and resilient. Then there is no such thing as a perfect parent. Just be a real one. I do not know about this person, but I thought these words are so very real and hitting, very close to my heart. Just be a real one. Whatever comes, whether you have this emotional resilience coming in or any other skill coming in, it is still okay. Instead of faking, you know, or instead of copying others, or instead of not doing it, ignoring it, you at least might as well want to exercise something, whatever is real for you. If you're feeling sad, it is okay to acknowledge. If you're feeling happy about it, okay, you can still be happy. Maybe people around you doesn't want to make you happy, want to see you happy, or want to enjoy your happiness. It's still fine. You can still be happy within you, and it'll definitely manifest outside. But make sure when you setting boundaries is also a key step towards emotional resilience or being a resilient parent. This is it's a secret weapon again. Setting boundaries, learning to say no will conserve your energy and time. Only then you can focus on something which is really valuable for yourself. If you feel valued, then you will demonstrate the same greatness towards anybody around you. They will also see that greatness in you. So it is vital to set boundaries with situations or gadgets, negativity, people. Sometimes even people are draining. You need to figure out who is that supportive and positive person that you can lean on, because very easily people, pull you down. Okay. Then, lastly, some self-discovery questions. I know it's taken this much to drill down why is it needed and why are we doing this and how are you going to implement this. It is It is not just for you, it is also for me. I've also been practicing this. It is tough. It was tough initially. Now it is becoming a part of me. At least when I do it continuously, that is when all these awareness I've started applying in my daily life, right? Only then it sticks to my mind. It occurs to me, okay, now it's a tough time. So what I need to do is immediately break it down. My logical brain is kicking in. So instead of looking at a bigger elephant, bigger problem like biggest one, it doesn't blow me away. Instead, I can immediately break it down and to see because I've already been practicing it. My left brain is constantly being practiced. Anything in my life, whichever is adversity or even a during a day, normal days when there is something which is unplanned or something which is disturbing my routine, whether it's big or small, I am having the capacity to break it down to see what is the real problem without getting overwhelmed by in my emotions or with other people's emotions. Without any judgments, I can clearly see. And then I can creatively find solutions. I'm optimistic. I have a hope and believe both in myself and others, even in the situation that there could be some creative solutions. There are always solutions. So solution oriented. Only then I can have a win-win approach. Okay. Suppose I have not practiced this. What happens is the problem comes in and then I just sit looking at the sky thinking, who's going to solve this problem? Is it my problem or is it my husband's? Is it my problem, mother-in-law problem, or my friend's problem, or my business client problem, customer problem? Who has to solve this? I'll sit and wait. Sometimes I get hurt. I don't know how to come across. I sit and wait for some help from the universe. I don't seek help. Neither I do any of these strategies. Take care of myself, go for a run. Nothing I do. I just sit and feel, worried constantly. That is all I can do because that much is in my capacity. But what isn't, rest all, I will feel that it is not in my capacity at all and I won't work on it. Then I'm not a resilient person. But instead, if I start working on it, even before the problem comes in, I need to start working on it. I just cannot, a lot of people do this. They wait till the life hits them. They think that is how they are going to learn. The wisdom is going to come. Yes, that could be true because not all the time the wisdom or the realization happens from outside. It has to come from within. It is very true. But you don't have to hurt yourself that much. You can still learn all this prior to your adversity. And I offer 21 days challenge for moms to build resilience specifically in all dimensions. And it's not, you may think that building resilience could be tough, especially how am I going to do in all dimension without any, it's going to be boring. It's going to be really, I don't want to get into it because it's very discomforting. All that will go away if you stay with the right associations. Because when you see somebody else is doing, you might as well want to motivate yourself to do. That is the key. Because we all know the knowledge. We have our own ego pattern saying that, I don't want to listen to you. Why would I listen to you? Why would I go through? Because I can wait till my life is cool. I don't have this problem. Why would I do? Right? But if I see other people doing, I may not know whether they are going through the problem, but they are still playing it as a game. I might want to try that. So if you are a person who wants to try this 21 days as a game, I'll give you the link below. I'll tell you how you're going to win that because it is cost, it is chargeable, but I'll give you a free coupon, 100% free coupon code. If only you are able to share your insights. You showing up in the comments, go to YouTube channel, it's happening live now. You go back and put your comments, 3 insights, and I will email it to you, your 100% free coupon. Okay. Thereon, you will have an opportunity to open that dashboard and there'll be a community group access given to you and you will start working on it. It's every month it is starting from first of, every month and it will get over by 21 days. By the time you finish to 21 days, we'll have a closing ceremony and you will also have some winning moments. There'll be gifts and goodies given to you and you will also see other moms who are doing this. Okay. But most importantly, you must have gone through the 21 days, and now after 21 days, you are becoming unstoppable. That is all we wanted, right? You don't need external, support. You don't want to be that procrastination person. You don't want to be the lazy person. You have learned how to be in the momentum. You gained your momentum for that 21 days. That is what is important. And I'm there to help you out. For now, what you have to do is ask yourself these questions to understand where you stand in terms of being a resilient parent. Do you stay calm when your child is upset? Can you respond in a measured and supportive way? Do you have a consistent stress management routine? Do you regularly engage activities that help you recharge? Can you see situations from your child's perspective? Do you understand the feelings and motivation? Are you able to communicate effectively with your child using active listening and clear language? Can you stay calm? I mean, it's the same thing. Boundaries. Have you established clear boundaries with your child? Do you have a structured approach to solve any problem with your child? Or do you do it randomly as it comes? Do you effectively prioritize your time for quality interaction with your child? Do you prioritize your self being? If you answer any of these questions as a no, then the entire episode makes it really valuable for you, right? So, if you want to continue your resilience journey, you got to learn continuously, educate yourself on parenting and emotional intelligence, and apply resilience techniques. It's not that you learn here and then you forget. That is why it's a long format content. It is not a reel where you're just going to scroll. This long format, anybody who's watching here, I can see a few people watching. I, if you can come and type your name here, that'd be wonderful because I'm going to give you a shout out. If you're here watching the live, that means you're really serious about it. Even otherwise, if you've watched the full video and you're able to give the comments as insights, then that really means you're taking this seriously. So you're going to reflect, assess your progress, and adjust your progress, right? Because if it's not working, you're just going to leave that and move on. Something has to work within you. It's not something that somebody is telling you and you're just going to apply it. But when you apply, when it is not working, you should have that courage and honesty to change that strategy. That is also being resilient. Don't worry. I'm going to share the 21 days resilience building link. If you're interested, I'll be there to support you to make sure that you apply these strategies and make you a resilient mom at the end of 21 days. All right. So before you leave, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there is podcast in Spotify on the same topic with a very, very short and crisp summary of this on the go. You can listen to that. And also it's coming as an article in Substack where you can interact and answer some poll questions. Share and win. Finally, I want to leave you with one word. If you are putting your insights in writing, that only means you're reinstating your learning 2 times. And when you're teaching this to others, then there is 3 times reinstation happening. Then it is becoming rewired in your brain. You're not going to forget this at all. Try this to see that. Remember, there is 21 days challenge to help you with, and there is awareness quizzes coming on. If you have not taken the resilience awareness quiz already, then there is a link given to you. It is not only that quiz, there is a lot of 30, 40 skills that we will be discussing in this 100 days. And for all those 30, 40 skills, there will be quizzes given to you. If you have registered in this Zoom live calls link, you will also get this fun bundles of quizzes complimentary. Okay. And there will be a EQ brain skill workshop, which I will let you know. The invitation link is given in the description. It happens every Sunday for women only. If you want to be part of it, to learn quickly and also to see what are the other skills that that you already have, maybe it could be really working with you. It could be your top 6, or it could be the least ones that you have not taken care of. That will also be interpreted during this workshop. So make sure that you're part of it. I'll tell you more details about that workshop, Sunday's workshop. Every day that when we speak, I'll give you a bit more information. But for now, there's a registration link. Drop in your email ID. You will start getting the invitation. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow with a new topic. Until then, stay calm, stay resilient.